where people can help one another out in a very easy way through our online experience. And then also we need to do some significant passes through the editor to help tooltip, kind of tutorial. We have some ambitious plans there. What we'll be able to hit by launch, I don't know, but yes, we're very aware of that, and we want to make sure that you don't go in and kind of, holy, what is this, you know, so that even the layman can start participating in building maps.
What about a kind of actual like scripting type of thing instead of using the old like drop-down menus? Possibly just make a more of an LUA style thing. You can actually go edit almost everything in the game is XML based, and then in the back end it's using something called Web3 right there. I'm forgetting it right now, our scripting language, but yes, you can actually, a very advanced developer can go in directly to the script itself and author it. Okay. And I think we provide a window in the editor to do that, but actually I don't know right now off the top of my head.
Would you be able to sort of give us some ideas of what you're thinking for Battle.net 2.0 and what sort of features that you want to, or you're thinking about incorporating into Starcraft 2?
Well, we're not getting into specifics, but just from a broad sense, we defined or helped define a really good matchup system in Warcraft 3 with anonymous matchmaking and be able to just click and play against a like-skilled player. We want to improve upon that dramatically. Community is huge, and social is huge, so we're going to be redefining that for us and upgrading it so that you can find the people you want to play with quickly and team up with. Additionally, be involved in the communities and the things that you're interested in more easily. And then, that's the basic premise. So I'm forgetting what I was going with the third, but anyway. Yeah.
On the editor again, it's been said it'll be more advanced than the War 3 editor. Will the StarCraft 2 one equip a item system and hero leveling experience?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about that before. We've gone back through to see what it is. We don't intend to incorporate equipment or leveling in the core game, but in the editor we want to allow a player to be able to do that and have some examples of it at ship. How fully featured it is, having an exact copy of Dota, that'd be cool, but hopefully what we can come up with, or the community can come up with, is something even different, maybe hearkening to Dota, but not necessarily exactly Dota. But yeah, we definitely want to explore having equipment and ability to have items and also leveling, but not in the core game.
This is a question about eSport. What kind of features are you bringing into the new Battle.net that is specifically geared towards eSport? And are there any types of things you're bringing into, let's say, to bring eSport more into mainstream here in the United States?
Yes. Specifics we'll get into, and that was the third thing that I was going to mention when I was mentioning kind of the three parts of Battle.net. So eSport is the big pro gaming. The sides of that we want to hit up is allowing basically the companies that run events like that to utilize Battle.net as a place that they can host that. Also calling out and making people aware that are up online that, hey, there's these big professional things going on right now, and these really hardcore gamers are playing right now, and that that gets put in front of them, so they at least are aware of that this community exists out there. And then we have a lot of pretty exciting stuff in the core game itself and multiplayer, and I encourage all of you, if you get a chance today, to go down to, there's going to be an SC2 community event at the esports stage. And for example, in multiplayer now we have leaderboards, so you can quickly look at any of the players that are in the game and their actions per minute at that time. You can look at who's resourcing best, what their army makeup is, what buildings they have, what units are under production, and all that stuff really quickly through this leaderboard.
While you're watching again?
Yeah, so the people running it can quickly switch to those things rather than having to switch from player to player view and kind of look at their supply and all that. I can see it in a macro view. That's just our first take at it. We are plan to have a telestrator also for people doing that. So it's basic, but that you can at least circle something, a big event, and scratch the screen. That's not in yet, but we're working on that. So there's a lot of ambitious plans that way to help bring that up. And then we recently just changed Warcraft 3. They're little things, but just stuff as simple as always have health bars up. that's really a big thing for people that are announcing games, and all those things that we're doing for Warcraft 3 will be in Starcraft 2 as well, on top of these new features that we're adding.
That's great.
Yeah.
Follow up on Starcraft 2, eSport, all that. Are there plans to have like an integrated like WOG TV as for Warcraft? There's the watch stream games. Is that going to be something that will be included with Starcraft 2?
We're talking about the extent of that and what that really means. We would like to have something like that at launch. Whether we're going to make it or not is another matter. But yeah, we're exploring that certainly.
Okay.
Yes.
When I talked to some of the players at the WCG, one of the big concerns they had about Battle.net was the latency, and they'd rather play over something like Hamachi or GG Client. Is that some sort of technology that Blizzard's thinking of incorporating into Battle.net 2.0? Is latency a concern?
Yeah, so, China is a great example of a place that really got screwed with Warcraft 3 and Starcraft because they had to play through servers located in Korea, and their connections were terrible. So one of the things that we've explored, and the technology is planned and exists, although we still have testing to do on it, is that you can be connected, let's say, in the United States, or be connected in Asia and play in Asia, but that we have basically a router or our game servers be able to be located locally. And then when an AMM matches you, it matches you based on your locale. So we are working on that. Australia will also love that, I think, because they suffer from that all the time connecting to East. So yeah, it's definitely something we are building out and working towards to make sure that Battle.net is the premier place to play from a connectivity standpoint as well. Yes?
This might apply to the new Battle.net. Will there be able for users to create their own, say, leagues or tournaments that are kind of sponsored by you guys?
We'll get into more of those details later. I've said way more than I should. So we'll catch that one later. There's another question over there. You had it. I thought I saw your hand. No? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had a question about the matchmaking. I know Warcraft 3 really brought that great matchmaking system. Do you plan on improving on that or adjusting it? Will latency also affect matchmaking in locale?
Well, I mean, just the plans for the router alone change it to make sure that you are routed locally when possible. There may be situations that are extreme where you get players that are really at higher tiers or whatever that we have to sort of break those rules because they'd rather get into some games than
we
nothing at
all like locale. We just hit the button at the same time. We just, there's ways to play with the system. But so the locale is definitely going to affect that matchmaking now?
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, we haven't even rolled this out yet to test it in further off regions, but that's the intention. Yeah, it would be, and we are actually analyzing what determines what matches you as well. It's totally new algorithms, totally new people programming it.
Do you go as far as like tracking clicks per minute and matching people with similar? Is that too far?
I think it might be too far because there's people that don't click as much, but they are just effective as players as the guy who's spamming constantly, and he may not be as good a player too. So action per minute is actually a very interesting heuristic because it's not really that accurate always. It depends on the player. So you had a question, I think.
Yeah. Is it true that you can now do hit and run with their units? And what's the response time of the units after you command? Is it instant or is there a slight delay?
We've worked on that because we got that feedback, I think in 2007, that mutas specifically were harder to micromanage compared to the original Starcraft, and so we've definitely improved upon that. To specific reaction time, I don't know. There is still Battle.net Depth does have a slightly different pace, not latency related, but basically game turns are slightly delayed. And that's on purpose to make sure everybody's playing at an equal skill level versus playing like a single player match or whatever. But it's working really well right now. We're playing across it, and we have a couple of ex-pro gamers on our team that are balance designers, and they're definitely finding it improved. And they were the ones that worked on how they accelerate, decelerate to feel like you can still do the muta push pull. Does that